G'day everyone. We thought we'd just do a quick rundown of our Gibb River Road experience. Just if you're thinking about going yourself, you can watch this video, maybe get a few facts and figures and just our thoughts on it. What to do, maybe not what to do, and a few things we didn't do that maybe you should do.
Yeah.
So, Adrian is the stats man. Sorry about Siri.
Siri wants to go to the Gibb too, so keep it in your list.
Okay. Adrian's the stats man. He has a scan gauge, and you like to keep stats, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Yeah, this is the book of numbers. The magical book of numbers, which has been on a few trips now with us.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose to start, where do we go?
Kununurra to Broome, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Total thing, which ended up to be 1,683 kilometres in total. So 540 of that was from our last camp to Broome.
Yeah.
Which is not much in between. We just did that in a day.
Yeah.
Did we do 540
540 in that day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Holly had ice in her foot well because we got so hot, and we had the spray bottle, Adrian's spray bottle, because we forgot ours. So yeah, it was a battle, that drive.
Yeah.
But I suppose the highlight, or like the thing we want to talk about, is the Gibb River Road in particular, which is a pretty famous sort of drive. A lot of people want to do it and are doing it. So yeah, what's the next?
Yeah,
Any more
right.
stats?
So in that overall sort of thing, we did 270 litres in fuel. Well, I did. Average 16. So that just gives you a gauge of what you're going to use from Kununurra to Broome.
Yep.
We did a little fuel up along the way, but that was about it. So day one, left Kununurra and camped right on the Pentecost.
Yep. Camped right on the Pentecost. We did jump onto the Kurungi track, which is sort of at the turn off the Pentecost towards Wyndham. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this track. I've seen a lot of people talk about the track, and they drove it, loved it, and we saw plenty of people on the track. We saw heaps of people on it.
Yep.
But there was some signs. It's part of
It's El Questro station. Yeah.
So, and it does say pretty much like, don't
No
do
entry.
the track, no entry, but there's a lot of people doing it. And we asked a local, and he was just like, yeah, go for it. Look, up to your discretion. I mean, I honestly tend to try and stay out of these kind of things, and I do. That's actually probably the first time we've just gone, oh, well, I don't know, let's just do it because everyone else is sort of doing it. I don't know, it's probably not the right attitude. But we did camp on the Pentecost River. We
only did about 10 k's of the track, so the track does run from the start of the Pentecost crossing all the way to Wyndham.
Yeah.
You can do the whole track.
And there's some nice things on the other end of the track as well, because it links into, I'll get Holly to with the little name of it, but you go past the prison boab that's out there.
And you did that from the other end.
We did it from the Wyndham.
Yeah, Wyndham side, all that stuff.
So, look, that camp was fantastic.
Beautiful, yeah.
Really good.
And it was only 141 k's from Kununurra out to that camp, so...
Yeah.
And that is pretty much all sealed now. So when Matt and I went through in 2019, it was, I think, only sealed from El Questro to the turnoff, whereas now it's pretty much they're finishing off the sealing all the way to the Pentecost.
Yeah, just as an aside, I think they are sort of planning to tar the whole Gibb eventually. So they're working on it, and it's since Holly and I have done it, it's probably almost 200 or 150, 170 k's less dirt than when we did it in 2019. So that's pretty quick. Back to our first camp in the Pentecost. You can camp on the Pentecost just after it. There are perfectly legit camps,
multiple.
So I would probably recommend those. Do those. They're still great camps. But yeah, that was fantastic. The track wasn't too hard. No, it was pretty easy. A few slow crawly bits, rocky bits, but nothing too challenging at all.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there?
Next night, all the way to our favourite camp actually so far on the Gibb, the Drysdale River crossing. 266 k's from
Pentecost?
Where we camped on the Pentecost out to there.
Yep.
It's a creek crossing just past Drysdale Station. You can also stay at Drysdale Station, get all your services there. It was a good place. We went there. We had a good feed on our return leg as well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, they've got food, water, fuel, a pub.
It was pretty nice. I feel like it's sort of out of the way a bit, but pretty well appointed.
Yeah. Personally, though,
Full-on
I would
pub.
prefer to stay where we stayed, the free camp on the river, rather than pay
Yeah.
on
So,
the station.
just as a small description, pretty much as you cross the Drysdale River, we think it's called that, but it's just literally 5 k's down the road from Drysdale Station, heading north. You cross the river first, and then you take a right, and there is plenty of spots. If you are keen, you can just do a little water crossing. It's nothing wild at all. It was fine. Probably was only, a couple of 100 mil, 400 mil.
I think it might have got up to side steps on that deep hole.
Yeah,
That's about
so
it.
it's
Did
like-
you? Because my feet got wet.
Oh, yes, because you were standing on the still.
Yeah. So
And for those who sort of don't know, that's on the Clumbaroo Road, we should say. So the Gibb River Road is running east-west or west-east, and the Clumbaroo Road goes up. So then that's where you get bus Drysdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the way to Mitchell Falls.
Yeah.
So the advantage of this camp are you're sort of obviously down in the river in the gully, and I mean in wet season it would be flooding, but in the dry season you've just got this beautiful crystal clear water flowing through, all filtered by the sand. It's not deep at all, it's not murky. You can definitely see if there have been any crocs. I mean, be croc safe, be croc wise, but there's no crocs there.
It's knee deep, crystal clear.
Yeah. So you can have a swim.
Upstream, there's a bit of a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, be
Yeah,
croc
but-
safe, everyone. I'm not, geez, I feel like we're advocating a lot of bad things in this video, but anyway, don't do those things.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can go for a swim, and really cool at night.
Yeah, beautiful.
No insects. No insects. Cool at night.
Yeah, no mosquitoes or midgies.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. We absolutely loved it. In fact, that was my favourite camp on the Gibb
Yeah.
It's
by
pretty
a
good.
long shot.
It's pretty good. Day 3 is where
The day
the
from hell.
adventures, let's say, start to begin. We are traversing out to Mitchell Falls. So we do a short run on the Clumbaroo, and then we start going out to Mitchell Falls. That day we did 185 kilometres, and to give you an idea, our average speed was 49, and I maxed out at 90.
And that would have
Yeah.
been on the Clumbaroo Road.
That would have been on the Clumbaroo, yeah. For me, on that Clumbaroo, it was like, well, for you it was like 80 odd was a nice sort of thing for you?
Yeah, that was where you kind of hit the sweet spot, and you're
Yeah.
floating over the corrugations at that point. But they were bad on that road. They were very noticeable.
It just happens we missed the grader on our return leg. The Clumbaroo road was sections of that being done. But Matt, how would you describe the road to Mitchell Falls?
So we kind of got a tip from someone the other day. We didn't know whether to believe this lady. We'll be honest. We were a bit, I don't know if we were believe, but she said at camp, she's like, it gets worse. And we were like, oh, that was pretty bad today. And she's like, oh, we heard a story of a Y62 patrol. The exhaust had fallen off, and then he threw it on the roof, and then it started melting all the wiring in the car, which would be, in my mind, probably almost a write-off.
Yeah.
I can imagine he would have been throwing faults all over the place, not to mention it's just flat out pretty dangerous because he would have been spitting flames and just screaming.
But I'd also love to hear a Y62 without exhaust.
I would love to hear
it.
that as well.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
And from a Toyota man, I still want to hear it.
Yeah. So we were a bit like, oh yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll be right. Got on that road, and hand to heart, that was the worst road I've ever been on, and the most fatiguing, hardest drive I've probably ever done in my life. Well, we just got to Mitchell River National Park campground. I can safely say, from the bottom of my heart, that was not enjoyable in the slightest, that road. I did not have a good time at all. Which sounds very dramatic, but we were absolutely stuffed by the end of it. How many Ks was it?
100. We
We
drove
only did-
185.
we only did
that
185.
day.
But just to Mitchell Falls, Clumbaroo to Mitchell Falls.
59 and 18. Yeah.
So
So 60,
70 Ks, 70 Ks of just hell. Holly was literally almost in tears. I'm not exaggerating. It sounds dramatic, but it was just that, just
was
rough.
bad.
We were just not in good spirits after it. Things that went wrong in Elsie. Radiator housing cracked, so we had to zip tie that. The hub was leaking pretty badly. Diff
Battery.
oil coming out of the hub. Yep. So we re-greased the hub. Had to bandit strap the battery down.
Yep.
Your
What else?
silly string.
Oh, one of my bushes started getting absolutely flogged, and there was just a lot of squeaks and rattles happening in LC. In fact, I actually got a story because we're up near Broome now, just camping at Bard Creek, and we were told by someone we met that they went with a 40 series troopy up to the falls, he cracked both his diffs.
Yep.
Completely, just absolute. That's you can't fix that.
Yep.
So
And
you can send them off, but you're not fixing that on the side of the road.
you can imagine that, like, 40 series have been overloaded for their whole life. They're utility vehicles, and this thing is just
40 years, those diffs have been on, they cracked the same day.
Yeah.
Going out to Mitchell Falls, we were a bit like, oh, geez, was that worth it? Next morning, we did the walk, and it was a stunning walk. Got up early, did the walk.
It's an 8.6k return hike.
It's not too hard.
Yeah, or you can, there is like helicopter services out there, so you can fly one way, walk back, or walk and then fly back.
Yeah.
Don't know the prices, we didn't look into that. But.
Yeah, so the walk's fantastic though. I'd actually go just to see all the things in between Mitchell Falls.
Yeah.
So the walk was fantastic.
Falls,
I would say the drive was worth it for that.
Yeah.
But just be prepared. If the road hasn't been graded, because apparently it was only graded a month previously to when we went, it's going to be shocking most of the time. Well, they're fixing it up now, so it could be
just
good.
as we were going out, they just finished after 12 months of planning. They've, I forget the group that's doing it, but they are redoing that whole road. Now, could be good if you jag it, but those sort of roads, it depends on what, like, and we were talking about it before, of like, if someone says, oh, don't do that road, it's terrible.
It changes.
It changes, yeah. I've
You
done
can
things
just-
that people told me not to do, and I've loved it.
Yeah.
I've said that a few times, so don't... just be prepared and make sure your vehicle is well maintained. Everything's up to nick on it, because, you know, I'm talking bearings, hubs, grease everything, bushes, tyres, everything that's getting you rolling on the road, all that kind of stuff. That's what you just really... I mean, you should be doing that most trips, but more so for something this rough.
Yeah.
Because it really tests your vehicle out.
And things get hot, and we sort of talked before about an ice bag and Holly and stuff like that. I remember at one point there, we got the temp gauge out, an infrared one, just to check the shocks, the hubs on Elsie. Perfect. The floor pan inside the passenger temp footwell was 10 degrees hotter than the shocks and all the bearings on Elsie on that road.
So, yeah, hot. It's a hot day as well. Obviously, it gets hot up north. So, worth it for that. Now, if you want to go a little bit further north, you can go up to Walsh Point. Now, there's camping up there, and that's a further 60 k's.
Yeah.
Was it?
54.
54.
We did that day. 54 to Walsh Points.
And the last 10, 12 k's is forward driving, so of your low range kind of stuff.
Yeah. We averaged 18 k's an hour that day.
18 k's an hour. There you go. So slow.
Yeah. But a lot of that's due to that. It is a real rocky section, so we were both low range, just to crawl over it. Just make it easy.
It's not tough forward driving.
It's not technical.
It's not technical. It's just rocky, so you just got to take it slow, just for the rocks.
But
how would you rate Walsh Point?
I did like Walsh Point. Pop out, Boabs, blue water.
If you drive that far to Mitchell Point, Mitchell Falls, you might as well go the extra 50 k's to go to Walsh Point to get to the coast.
Yeah.
There were no chopper sounds, which was good, because although you can take a chopper to Mitchell Falls, it gets a little repetitive of the sound when you're camping there, of the flights of the chopper. So that was a nice break. We ended up staying there 2 nights.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we stayed there 2 nights just because we needed a break. We needed a whole day to recover, to prepare ourselves to go back on the road, because you got to go back out.
Yeah.
But no, Walsh Point's fantastic. Adrian did a bit of fishing there. If you're a keen fisherman, I think that's a pretty popular spot. If you've got a boat and you're that keen to tow it out, then you're going to have a good time probably.
Yeah.
But
caught up with some people in Broome. They did take their boat out. Fishing was unreal. They were a bit underprepared with their gear, and they were just getting snapped off a lot. So if you're going to go out there and you're going to take a boat, gear up. Yeah.
You mean big things for big fish?
Big fish, yeah.
Right, sorry, just clarify. I have no idea what fishing's
Matt's like, he channels his inner Rex Hunt. Yeah.
I'm useless at fishing. So obviously getting a bit dark there, so we've just turned a light on in the ute. Alright, so back from Walsh Point. Now we got up at the crack of dawn.
Yep.
to make sure
Eager.
we're on the road
Eager.
early because we wanted to get back to Drysdale River. So we had that beautiful camp again. We could have a swim. We could freshen up. Now, I'd say the road on the way out was better.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah. A lot better. Even the worst section we were talking about on Mitchell
Yeah.
Falls, we were just a little bit out of the ruts. It's quite tight, that road, and windy. So no speed is going to help you because you can't
You can't
drive
get up
that
speed,
fast.
yeah.
But it was a lot better going out.
I think maybe it could be due to a few factors. I think people probably get in and camp and then go, that was atrocious, let's let my tyres down. And so I think that's probably one factor. Another factor is you're just mentally prepared for it. So yeah, I don't know, it just felt a way better on the way out. We were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and we weren't doing the opposite side of the road to go against the washout of the forming of the corrugations. We were holding far left, so we're not chancing coming to incoming traffic. It is quite windy, and it's still better.
Yeah.
220 k's back out.
That took us like 5 hours, didn't it?
5 hours for 220 k's. So poking along, and you got to take your time. We had a couple of breaks just to give the cars a rest, cool the shockies down, which you should probably be doing pretty regularly, and just doing a once over your car. We did that a lot on the way in, and it was lucky we did, because there was a few smaller issues that could have definitely turned into bigger issues if you didn't get on them. So definitely just keep eyeballing your car, stop regularly and have a look. Where do we go from there?
Dog Chain Creek. Correct?
Yes, that was just off the Gibb, listed as a campsite. It was pretty nice, except we did have some neighbours who were a bit noisy with a few generators.
Running lots of generators. Like, I don't know what they were powering, but Jennies, lots of Jennies.
I'm pretty certain they had a cable back to Kununurra.
Powering, So anyway, you get that, that's fine.
What did we do that day? What did we see? Oh, we went to Adcock Gorge, didn't we? That was really nice. That was like a 5k track off the Gibb, and we ended up driving a little bit further, walking a little bit less. That was there was a little water crossing.
Forget about it now.
That was good. Yeah, Holly and I didn't do that in 2019, and it was really good.
It was. Apparently there's a resident freshie in the water there, but we didn't see him.
He didn't touch our flesh when we were swimming, so it was fine.
Lick our toes, so it was fine.
We survived.
So that was great, that gorge. And it's one of the sort of the things to do on the Gibb is stopping by, checking out gorges, and hiking into them and all that kind of thing, swimming holes. So definitely do the gorges when you're going. And then from there, the next day. Next day was the last day, and we went to Winjana Gorge, which Holly and I have been to before. That's just a must do. It's spectacular.
And
then
the puncher.
And then what was that?
The
Adrian got a puncher in his tyre.
Oh, Adrian did get a puncher in his tyre. This puncher, doesn't matter how good your tyres are, he could have had a brand new tyre. And
it went straight through the thick rubber, like the
knob.
tread.
It's a 4-inch bolt.
Like that.
Yeah. Picked it up on the tyre monitor and said, it's not really going down. I don't know what this silly piece of equipment's on about. Called up Matt and said, we might just check this. So we pulled into Gorges. What's the gorge called?
Winjana Gorge.
Winjana. And opened the door and it is hissing like
anything. Make sure you have a spare and it's good to go, and bring a patch kit. And look, I rate tyre pressure monitoring systems. They are handy because sometimes on those rough roads, you're going along, like especially in Elsie, the car's so rough anyway
and
loud
that
when the tyre, I've done it before, I've driven a tyre in Elsie, this is when we first got her, and I was going on a station and it had really crap old board tyres on it, and I had literally torn the tyre to shreds before I'm like, something's wrong. So I got out and it was just like, just shredded. So tyre pressure monitoring systems are a pretty good thing, I think, on a road like the Gibb. Could save your tyre. Save you a couple of $100.
What was that next?
Then the next one was Tunnel Creek. So again, that's a small hike through a cave essentially filled with freshwater crocodiles.
And you wade through the water.
You do. Yeah, really cool.
Adrian, tell us about it.
Loved it. I think it's absolutely fantastic that you're croc safe everywhere, croc safe. Now let's walk through this gorge with crocs. And then they're only little freshies, but it's still It was beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Loved that. Good experience.
So that was pretty much the time of the Gibb.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, and I suppose we want to get on to maybe our expectations of it and whether they kind of fell short, because when Holly and I initially did it, it was a really dry year in 2019. So we thought there would be way more water crossings, and there was none.
We were sort of we're sort of at the end of the sort of season as well.
Yeah.
And we couldn't go to certain places as well, still with COVID. Couldn't go to Columbaroo or anywhere up there. The Munja tracks they're working out a development plan for that. The traditional owners of that land, so we couldn't do that.
So, honestly, give us your honest opinion of your Gibb experience and kind of how it stacked up.
Liked aspects. Is it as great as what you sort of this picture that's played out to it? Probably not. I love the countryside there, but it's just the Gibb River Road itself.
Yeah,
it's a road.
It's a road, and I'd like to go when there's more water. I'd like to actually feel like I'm adventuring a bit, doing river crossings and kind of forward driving more. Really don't forward drive much.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of vans, a lot of things being towed on the road.
Yep.
A lot very busy, so it'll be rough on vans. We know it is. We know there's a lot of tow companies making good dosh off that.
And we've seen carnage. With a lot of carnage.
Yeah,
there was a lot of carnage out there actually. So it's not that we didn't enjoy it. It's just that I kind of feel like there's more to see, and maybe we didn't get the most out of it. Because Holly and I have talked to people, and they're like, we went to the Kimberley, and we were on it for months, and we had the best time ever, and we just went all over the place. I'm thinking, where did you go? Because there's a lot of station stays, which we didn't go to. I would love to go to Equestro one day. I've heard it's fantastic. I've heard it's expensive, but it's fantastic. So we'll do that one day, but I don't know, just for now, we didn't bother this time. Just looked really, really busy.
And we were running a tight,
pretty tight schedule.
Yeah.
So please comment below. Tell me what you did. Just so other people can read the comments and they can maybe get a few of your ideas. Maybe we can get some ideas for next time we do it.
We'd love to come back and obviously do Columbaroo and the bits we couldn't do.
Yep.
But I'd like to do Munja.
Yeah.
Go out to Mungari, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Fantastic, the opportunity to be able to do that. But anyway.
So there we go. So, enjoyed it, but I feel like we just didn't get quite the experience that I was wanting. It wasn't quite the adventure I was wanting. I reckon maybe it's getting some tours. Getting proper tour guides might be the way to go.
I think probably, like you say, getting out onto country might be
the way to go. That would be,
which is more up our sort of style anyway.
Because one thing we did notice from when Matt and I did do it in 2019 is how much busier it was. And I think because it is accessible, you can take your van on it, which is great that more people are able to see it, but it also detracts from the fact that you are remote.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're remote at all.
Yeah.
You don't really feel like it's much of a grand adventure. Comparing it to sort of some of the other things we've done, like our Simpson trip we did last year. I felt like a proper adventure. I felt like, this is really cool. We are remote. And I enjoyed it more. I did enjoy it more. But maybe we just missed a few key things. So I'm not ruling it out. I definitely want to go back. That being said, there's still the gorges are stunning. I'm sure the station stays are excellent. And it's a nice thing to tick off the bucket list for sure. Anything else to add, anybody?
It's Ellen's birthday. Happy birthday, Ellen.
Happy birthday to you. Ellen, what did you think of the Kimberley?
I thought it was stunning. Was a bit underwhelming, but it was beautiful in the same. But I did expect a bit more.
Ellen read 2 books.
On the corrugation.
So even going out to Mitchell Falls, Ellen is still reading a book.
I don't know.
She judged how bad the road was with how well she could read the book.
Ollie and I literally couldn't have a conversation. Like, if I said something, we'd have to lean across into the middle and just like shout into each other's ears. Like,
Even today, driving around, Matt got on the two-way and he pulled it up to his, and he was speaking to Adrian. And I looked at Matt and I was like, I have no idea what you just said. I could not hear him, and he was just like,
yeah.
so loud at Elsie.
Should have thought of another bit of carnage on Elsie, the body mount on the front.
Yes.
One of my body mounts
Yeah.
is cactus right under my right foot. It's a problem area in a 40 series. It's one of those parts that always rust, but yeah, she's cooked.
Yeah. Now,
It needs a dressing
Now when
when we
Matt
get
says the body mount, he is not talking the rubber. He's talking the mounting onto the body of
Oh, it was
the
a
car.
water tank.
Yes.
The car was falling down.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
It needs a dressing when we get home. That's a big job. So
Oh, and we're also hearing a sound in our gearbox.
there is a sound in the gearbox. That is a tale for another time. We'll see how that goes.
To be continued, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching that wrap up. I hopefully. Sorry. We'll start again. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching that wrap up. Hopefully, it was helpful. If you are thinking about doing the Gibb River Road, it is a bucket list item. It is great fun. Maybe do a bit of your own research as well, because I feel like we didn't quite see all that there is to see. It just means we have to go back and do it again.
Oh, what a pity.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a pity.
More travel.
So, yeah, we'll see you next week's video, right? It. All right.
That's all, folks.
No.